The Slow Unmaking of America's Real Economism, Education, Retail, and Farming in Retreat, and How Trump's Legacy Lingers by Azlan Adnan. America's economic softening is not just about inflation charts or GDP growth forecasts. The true story is playing out on the ground, in empty malls, vacant farms, closed classrooms, and shuttered travel kiosks. From rural counties to major metros, 4 core sectors, tourism, higher education, retail, and agriculture, are bleeding simultaneously, and the trajectory is increasingly structural. While the roots of decline precede Donald Trump, his policies and his ongoing influence have significantly worsened the economic vulnerabilities they face today. Tourism. Fewer visitors, fewer dollars. International tourism never truly recovered after the pandemic. Not for the United States. Cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Orlando are reporting international arrivals still 15 to 30% below 2016 levels. Travel bans, erratic visa policies, and the aggressive nativism of the Trump years have severely damaged the U.S.'s image abroad. Middle-class tourists from Asia and Latin America now prefer the EU, Australia, or the UAE, destinations seen as safer, friendlier, and more stable. This retreat is devastating not just for luxury hotels or theme parks, but for regional economies reliant on tourism. Restaurant closures, empty tour buses, and job losses in hospitality are quietly spreading beyond traditional tourist zones. Higher education. The shrinking campus international student enrollment, long a dependable economic engine, is in free fall outside the Ivy League. Smaller public universities, liberal arts colleges, and state schools in the Midwest and South report declines of up to 40% in foreign enrollment compared to a decade ago. The causes? Toxic immigration rhetoric, visa delays, ICE raids on students during Trump's term, and the loss of post-graduation work opportunities under tightened H-1B pathways. Countries like Canada and Germany now attract those students instead, offering easier paths to residency and fewer political risks. This isn't just about prestige, it's about money. Each lost student means lost tuition, lost rent, lost retail spending, and eventually lost research innovation. Retail, death by 1,000 closures. Malls are dying, but not just because of Amazon. A wave of closures is now hitting Tier 2 and Tier 3 retail strips in Middle America and exurban centers. These aren't trendy brands downsizing. These are essential retail hubs, often the last economic lifeline in declining counties. The Trump-era's trade war with China, paired with erratic COVID policies and a lack of federal support for small businesses in red states, accelerated this collapse. Add in post-pandemic inflation and stagnant wages, and foot traffic has plummeted. When stores go, tax revenue follows, and soon, cities can't fund basic services. Agriculture. A workforce purged. American agriculture has always depended on immigrant labor, legal, undocumented, or temporary. But Trump's ICE raids and aggressive deportation campaigns devastated this labor supply. Orchards went unpicked, dairy farms cut back, and vegetable growers simply stopped planting. No, Americans didn't rush in to take these jobs. The result? Higher food prices, lower output, and a rural economy unable to bounce back. Trump's chaotic trade war with China also wrecked export stability, turning reliable markets like soy and pork into geopolitical leverage points, and leaving farmers in limbo. Today, many of those small farms are gone, sold to agribusiness or abandoned outright. Protectionism and its discontents. Trump's economic doctrine was built on protectionism and nationalism. Tariffs on China didn't bring factories back. They raised costs for manufacturers and consumers. America First alienated allies and prompted countries to create their own supply chains. His exit from multilateral agreements, from the Trans-Pacific Partnership to climate accords, shrank America's diplomatic and economic footprint, encouraging others to bypass the U.S. altogether. This has deeply damaged sectors that once benefited from America's openness: education, tourism, and even agriculture. Instead of rebooting domestic industry, protectionism created volatility, discouraged investment, and eroded trust, at home and abroad. Conclusion: a house with cracks in every wall. From the decline in tourist arrivals and international student enrollment to the collapse of rural retail and the ongoing labor crisis in agriculture, America's economic fragmentation is not theoretical. It is unfolding in plain sight. While these problems have deep roots, the policies of Donald Trump, especially during his first presidency, deepened existing fractures and introduced new structural weaknesses. His emphasis on protectionism, deregulation, and immigration crackdowns had severe ripple effects across industries that once thrived on openness, mobility, and international cooperation. Now, under President Donald Trump's second term, many of those same policies are being revived or intensified. The long-term damage to sectors like education, tourism, and farming is becoming entrenched. What began as political disruption is now manifesting as economic regression. The core institutions and labor systems that once supported a vibrant, globally engaged economy are deteriorating. And without a fundamental course correction, America risks normalizing this stagnation as the new status quo. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.